Hi, I'm Shauna from Infinity Readings, and this is going to be the reading for the Aquarius male for the Valentine season of 2019. Okay, so I have two pyramids I work from. I have a love, sex, and romance pyramid that I have on my right here, and then on my left I have a general pyramid. We go over general energies that may be coming across the Aquarius sign. So, and then I also have a masculine card here to depict another general energy of the masculine, and then I have a power of surrender card that may illuminate any blocks that you may be having. So that's really why I try to do this, to give you a clear-eyed view of what universally may be coming across, or what you may be coming across unencumbered by your own opinion, right? Because sometimes you just need somebody, a fresh take on things to open things up. So this is where I'm coming from. So the first card that I get in the general masculine energies for the Aquarius male is play. So this play card, we had this for Capricorn as well. There's this sense of, interesting. Yeah, there's a sense of mischievous within this card. So this is where this man is at. This is underlying the whole reading and where he goes and what he does, okay? So there's a sense of mischievousness and play that goes underneath this whole reading. Now, the power of surrender card is surrender your fear of intimacy. You are ready to let love in, so compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. So you may have a fear of intimacy to a deeper level, I feel, and that may be one of your blocks to getting you forward into a more stable, loving relationship, okay? So the first card I get is the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles is about grounded energy, new opportunities, new ways of making money that are coming forth to you, gifts from the universe, really, in a financial or grounded sort of way. So that is the head of the pyramid, so that bodes well for those 2-3 months, because it states that there's lots of opportunity building your wealth, and also for building your finances. The next card I get is the Magician. And the Magician is about the power and influence that you hold within your own life. You're feeling very powerful, and I feel it's connected to the money, because the Magician is not the head, it's the money that rules. So I feel like we feel more powerful with the more money that we have, and we are trying to accumulate that to a high degree. The next card I get is the Three of Pentacles. So we are gaining ground here, but in this deck, the Three of Pentacles is more about creativity. Creative ways of making our life more enjoyable, more grounded, and more financially stable, okay? So this is really where I feel like this Aquarian male is at, and his focus is on. It's really the basis of where he is rooting out from, right? New opportunities to gain more money and stability forward. The next card I get is the Moon card. Not seeing properly, maybe an illusion of or delusion of. So things in our midst here that we don't quite understand, or mysteries, or not being revealed. Now the moon, the sun follows the moon, so we may not know now, but things may be uncovered over time as to what's going on in any direction that we're curious about, or that we don't feel that we know all the answers. The next card is Page of Pentacles, and that's right directly under the Ace of Pentacles. So the page is about messages of work and, you know, ways, even knowledge coming forth to you, maybe areas of study that you want to look into. So I feel like this may be directly connected to the new opportunities coming forth. You may have opportunities coming forth to you that you can gain training along with, like you may apply for a job and then suddenly they put you on a seminar for a week and train you on top of that. So it's kind of like a bonus, a gift, I feel, on top of. So you may be applying for something and then you get a bonus course that goes with it, and that can be applied not just in the job that you're in but anywhere else. So there's doubling up that's happening here in new opportunities and ways forward having to do with money. And the next card I get is the Nine of Swords. So we may be stressed or anxiety written over this time, a sense of, yeah, being up at night or stressed about something, okay? But anyway, I'll carry on. The Ace of Swords is on top of the Moon. So this Ace of Swords is about truth, clarity, and victory. Now, there's some illusions. It's interesting because that card is about truth, but the Moon is about mysteries and question marks. So there is something we're trying to get to the bottom of, and I feel like over time, if we're patient, this will just naturally unravel. But for now, we're really trying to focus on gaining truth in a certain area that we feel confused about. Okay. Next to that, we have the Chariot, 7. And the Chariot is about, it can be about conflictive energy, and I feel like this is somewhat subdued, but I feel like this Aquarian male has a lot of stuff in his mind that he may be conflicted about. And that's having to do directly with these truths. And there's a lot of energy going forth to finding out these answers, but they're kind of not illuminating. I don't know if it's in a relationship area or work or other. I feel like that may not hit on any level there. But there's something of interest to this Aquarian male that he wants to find the truth out about, and that's going to be revealed over time, okay? So the Chariot, the Moon, and the Ace of Swords are in trine. So there is some truth and clarity coming forward, but I feel like we're not going to get all the puzzle pieces to make a picture here, and we just kind of have to deal with that. Okay, so the next card, the Page of Wands. Page of Wands is about exciting news that comes forth to us that helps us get energized for a certain direction or makes us make movement in a certain direction. This page is looking directly at the Chariot. So I feel like there's a message here that helps him gain clarity over the conflict that he's carrying in his mind. I don't feel like he's going outward conflictively. I feel like there's a lot of internal conflict going on, and I feel like the Page of Wands, that's messages from an outside source. So somebody coming in and going dot dot dot, and then suddenly you're looking at things differently, or you get the answer that you're looking for to illuminate things that you need answers to. So some kind of an outside source is going to be helping you with that, to clear up the conflict, basically. Okay, now this is also tied to the stress and anxiety that you're feeling, so be careful of that. It could alleviate that. Yeah, the Page of Wands here is also tied to the Nine of Swords, so just keep that in mind. The stress and anxiety, the message that's coming in, it'll either alleviate that or just cut through the illusion that you may be thinking at this point, okay? Clear some things up, though I don't think we're going to be seeing sunny skies here. It's going to be a little cloudy and murky, but I feel like we're going to get some answers along our path to what we need answers to, okay? May not be the whole story, but we're filling in the blanks, is the sense. So on top of the Nine of Swords and the last card in the first pyramid here, we have the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords is about sneaky behavior. something that is done. The Aquarian male is done. He knows is wrong. Now, it's interesting because the Seven of Swords is following the Page of Wands and also the Nine of Swords. That is the trine here, the Nine of Swords, Page of Wands, Seven of Swords. So there's a lot of mental conflict and stress going on. And this message has a lot to do. This message coming in has a lot to do with what actions you're going to take. Whether it alleviates that or not, I don't know. The amount of stress here is very, very high. Feeling that, and they're not giving me a direction as to where this sits. We'll probably suss it out here as we move into the love and romance. Nonetheless, the Seven of Swords is a sneaky type energy. Is someone doing wrong when they know better? And a message that's attached, it somehow affects this sneaky behavior, but the message coming in is disconnected from it, but affects it in some way. It's hard to explain what I get. But I feel like the sneaky behavior, if we cut it out, we can get rid of it right away. But this message coming in is almost like a warning that we have to watch, because we are not undetected, meaning we may be detected here on what's going on, whatever we're being shady in. We got to watch. So there's a messenger coming in to highlight that in some kind of way, but it can easily be overlooked. The conflict, this message that comes in is going to help with this conflict going forward, meaning it's going to settle that internal conflict that you have somewhat. But there's two separate parts to this. There's one part that is just sky high, creating stress and drama and whatever. But again, it's all internal thoughts. And then there's another one here I feel is internal as well, but something that we can actually take action on. It may create something that we can take action on. But this message is going to hinge every direction. It's going to have a facet or some kind of reaction to this. So it's very interesting, an intricate puzzle here, and I don't have all the pieces myself. So that is the general energies. Okay, now as we move into the love and romance area, the first card I get on the romance side is the Romance Tarot card. Now that is put in here when the universe says, you know what, we can't play this card. There's some mysteries. And again, the moon is here in the majors to see what's, you know, there is a part here that is not illuminated to you, and there's a reason for that. The reason is you're not meant to know, because you would manipulate or change things. So we can't have you knowing this. And that's filtering now the same card into the romance area. So, romance card, none of your business. Next, the sex card, we get the Knave of Wands. So the Knave of Wands is about a fiery, passionate energy that you have for someone else physically, indulging in that, doing that to a degree that is, you know, fired up, okay? So that's simply stated. We have an affair here with someone, or I'm saying affair, but a passionate connection with someone, and that's that. The next card we get is the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups energy is about making love offerings outward, and then the King of Cups is here on the sex side. That is interesting, because what I'm getting here is yeah, I'm getting a sense here that we have a King of Pentacles, or sorry, a King of Cups is very much in charge of his emotions. He's very learned in the emotional center, so giving emotionally to the partner, and able to soothe and be compassionate and indulge in those senses. Then I get the Knight. The Knight is the guy that'll say anything you want to hear in order to kind of get you in the sack, right? He is the kind of like the White Knight, right? but at the same time, he may not be long lasting. He doesn't want to stick around too long. So it's interesting that we've got the Knight and then the King. It leads me to believe that there's two ways this can go. Either we have a knight here that has morphed into a king, so he's learned some lessons in the love area that has brought him to a point where he realizes more what he needs to offer on an emotional level. Or it could be that we have a King of Cups here that is posing as a Knight of Cups, meaning he has the tools and abilities to bring forth a good partner, and not only that, be an equal partner to a good woman or man, whatever you choose. But he is posing as not having these tools. He's going like below his pay grade here. So what a sense I'm getting. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting that there's a man here. He has all his tools, but he's not using them. Especially not using them in the romance area, because either he doesn't want to do the work, or he doesn't want to be emotionally vulnerable, or he's, yeah, it's a fear. Well, there we have fear of intimacy, right? So that's what it is based on. There's a fear of becoming too intimate. So we go down to the Knight of Cups because we're familiar with that, and we don't have to really do anything out of our comfort zone. And if we don't have a successful relationship, it's okay. We just move on to the next one, right? So this is the process here. There's either this man's going through this or dealing with this at this time, okay? Now, next we have the Four of Cups. Now, the Four of Cups, again, is about emotionalism and going outward affectionately to a partner or someone that we choose outside of us to show affections to. This man is bending over backwards to impress someone, okay? So when we go into the bedroom here, we have the Knight of Swords. Now, the Knight of Swords is interesting because this is a dichotomy here. The Four of Cups is about gentle, compassionate, loving notes of inspiration towards another. And then we have the Knight of Swords, and that's like domination and, you know, taking over control in the bedroom to an offensive degree almost. So either we have someone who indulges in this way, and this may be the, okay. Now if I take the Knight of Cups, okay, and we take the Four of Cups and we put those two together, that he's whining and dining and saying what he needs to say to get them in the bedroom. And then we use our King of Cups wisdom in the bedroom to get what we want. And that's what is translating here. There's a bit of a manipulation process. This man has learned over time, okay? He may not have got a successful relationship from it, but he's got successful results in his mind of what he wants, okay, and what he treasures, which is physical side. Wow. So it's almost like a trap, right? I'm gonna fluff you up on the outside, and then you're mine when it becomes, you know, behind closed doors. So a predatory kind of feel, which is crazy. But anyway, may not be that high for everybody, but nonetheless. Next card I get is the Three of Cups, and the Three of Cups here is about physical satisfaction and not much else. This man is going into a brothel. He's getting, what would you call, an exchange and leaving. Okay, there's an exchange and then we're gone. Now on top of that, we have the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles may be a symbol of someone you are of interest in, or could be his own energy. And the sense I'm getting here is his own energy for now. Now, the Queen of Pentacles in this deck, we're talking about sex. This man is trying to turn her on physically, and then we see outside in the window there's ice and snow. So that's a symbol of how cold she is in response to all of this physical attention. So there's a sense here of that going on. If we are not influencing it outward, then we are getting it exhibited in some way in our field, okay? A sense of that. So, yeah, this could go both ways, really, is the sense I'm getting. So the next card I get is the Page of Swords. Page of Swords, it's funny because he's illuminating the Queen of Pentacles and the you know, sexual satisfied thing. It's almost like this may be the area where we need to look at things a little deeper. The fact that this man is really the fear of intimacy, to go into any depth of a relationship, is a root problem here. Now, because, okay, so the Page of Swords is illuminating. There's an interest level here in the Queen of Pentacles. So there's somebody in your midst here that is kind of disinterested or not. Or maybe someone of interest that we just want to indulge in on the sexual side, okay, and we haven't done so far, or they're not falling for this, that kind of thing. There's an interest level here, a curiosity to know more about this side of things, okay? Now, on top of that, we have strength. So there is something to be gained by having a curiosity in this direction. But no less, I feel like there may be no progress to be made there. I feel like, but we'll see. As we move on, the last card here, 20, Judgment card. So the Judgment card is about the universe calling out to us instinctively and getting us, you know, to kind of look in a direction. Now they're looking, all of it's looking down the way here, and the end of the line is going and getting sex for pleasure only, okay? Or not getting sex for pleasure only, but making love for pleasure only. So the Judgment card here is looking at the strength. We're getting instinctively, or we will be getting instinctively guided as to where to go or how to deal with things in order to make our sex lives better. Because on top of the 20 here, we have the Sun card, and the Sun card is usually the ultimate orgasm pleasure on the physical side of things that is very high, okay? So enjoyable sex life. Now, I do not feel like this man, how do I explain that? I feel like this man gets as much as he wants from his sex life that he thinks he can get, but the universe is going, we need to look further at this wham bam thing, because if we're wham bamming, we do not have the ability to create depth, okay? So there's a lack of depth here that this man chooses not to go to in order to, one, stay in control. He's blacking himself out because he doesn't want to feel like he's lost control. He needs to keep control. And not only that, bedroom is where it's at, and that's my priority, and that's why I can't lose control there. So if he opens his heart, he feels that he's going to lose control in all of these areas. So this becomes a problem, okay? Now, there's a particular area of interest here where the refusal is coming, that this man is trying to put two and two together here. He's trying to make things add up. It's going to create strength forward for him to go in a different direction. Nonetheless, once he looks into it, like there's a curiosity here, what's going on? Why? I got to figure this out. So once he figures it out, then he's going to realize that there's a strength that pushes him forward in a different kind of direction than he's been headed or he's been dipping into, okay? Now, this is where the Judgment comes in, and this is where the Sun card comes in, because even though he may be having orgasms and, you know, the sex is all that, it could be a hell of a lot better if he was listening to his instinct all along here. So what they're saying is like, we think it's good now, but we have no idea what it could be great because we've never had great. We've just had mediocre, so how do we know what is, you know, how do we know the color purple if we've never seen it? That's the thing, and that's what they want to illuminate through opening the heart center. Again, surrender card. This is his ultimate block. Fear of intimacy. This man is afraid to get deep with anyone. And he does not do it. Why? Because he feels that he'll lose control. It is a control freak issue here on the sex side and is directly linked to his happiness. But this is what he's got to figure out on his own. Okay? And there's some surprises here. There's Moon card and the Romance card that's going to come out and spin things around for him. So he will figure it out on his own. Or at least give him the keys. There's probably about 12 of them on the table and we got one lock. So you got a bit of time here to sift through all that stuff, figure out what's going on. It's an interesting ride this guy's on. But he's a king pretending to be a knight, which really blocks him off from a lot of pleasure that he could be having in a better kind of way. But because he hasn't seen it, he doesn't know that it's there and that kind of thing. So there's a spiritual journey that kind of weaves itself underneath all of this. And though he may not be on the spiritual side of things, he's strictly looking for physical pleasure. He may gain some knowledge inadvertently along that physical line, okay? I'll put it that way. So yeah, there's a energy here that just irks me, and that's the fact that, and I don't know if he's wearing a mask or if he's just outright playing up people on the soft side, and then you get in the bedroom and then there's no more soft side. That's what I'm getting, and I'm feeling like that's kind of an entrapment. So this man has to really drop that. I mean, I'm not saying that from my attitude of the feeling I'm getting. He really has to drop that. He has to just be who he is inside and outside of the bedroom, because the minute you have a switcheroo, people feel cheated even when there's nobody else around, right? Because if you have someone outside of you that's soft and compassionate, and then that's taken away in the bedroom, yeah, I feel that's very unfair and unbalanced. But anyway, that's my judgment. So, but that's the energies for the Aquarius male. Seems like he's he may be working or in receipt of universal energies coming forth to reward him in a physical kind of way through work, money, or opportunities to gain such in this way. He is trying to manifest more of that. He's trying to be creative in the way that he deals with that. You got to watch for the sneaky behavior here. I feel it's very heavily in the sexual side, but it's also in the like the regular general side as well. It's off the side. We can bat it off and get rid of it, but I feel like this may be an addictive quality this man has, is to manipulate situations and things, okay? And it creates a lot of extra stress and anxiety for you, so it would be in your benefit to get rid of it, but nonetheless. Now again, going back to the general energies for the male, is the sense of play, curiosity, and mischievousness. That's what comes from this card. Again, sharing some. So we may have some cuspers here on Capricorn Aquarius. Cusper that is kind of feeding the energy forward here for play. So there's a sense that this man, and I feel like this really hits on the sex side of things, or even in the romantical. He has no real grounding energy on a romantical kind of way. We're just kind of footloose, fancy free. We're playing with things. If something hits, then fine. If not, then don't. There's no stability, no security is what I'm getting, okay? So there's a sense of play here, and that's where he's at. And then the surrender card is surrender your fear of intimacy. And again, you are ready to let love in, compassionately identify, and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. Now, if I were to zone in, I feel like the only thing here that is stopping him is himself, because he is refusing to open his heart outward. So that is really the cycle that he's spinning in. He's expecting to get full love and compassion forward when he doesn't give it out. And that's the problem. If we don't give it out, we can't get it in. And that's it. Simple as that. That's you're vibrating at half mast, and you're expecting all these full sails to come forward, it's not going to happen. You're going to get a bunch of half-mass. You cannot hold back the energy of love and expect to get fully loved back. It does not work that way. So there's got to be a realization from this Aqua male that he has to open up on some levels and give in order to receive, because I think that's really what he's in search of, and kind of getting frustrated, throwing things here, and this not working, this not working, this not working. And the problem is he has to look at himself. So hopefully that helps, is really what I'm getting. Energetically, you can't have a match that is a mismatch. You cannot, how do you say, shop above. What is it? Champagne taste on beer budget. You cannot do that. It does not sustain. We have to raise our vibration first, then we get the champagne starts flowing. But if we cannot raise it and we keep cracking our beers, that's all we're going to get is more beer. So, analogy for the men's side. So hopefully that helps you guys. Take care, Aquarius. Valentine's season, look a little deeper at what you're giving to and contributing to in a relationship and see how that goes. Take care, have fun, and be kind.